India has begun its biggest ever repatriation exercise to bring back its citizens stranded all across the globe. Air India, at least 64 flights have been arranged to bring back Indians. From Singapore today, 234 Indians came down, landed in the national capital. 4 more flights are expected to bring back Indians from across the world today itself. Just yesterday, 2 Air India flights from UAE carrying a total of 363 Indian nationals, including the infants, landed in Kochi and Kozhikode late night. The evacuees upon arrival were screened and are being kept in 14-day quarantine. It is mandatory for them to register on the Arogya Setu app. Nearly 15,000 stranded overseas due to coronavirus are expected to return on special Air India flights from 13 countries over the week and will have to go through compulsory 14-day quarantine in government facilities on payable basis.
We are very thankful to our government, High Commission and everyone here. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken this step and we are really highly thankful to our government, and we think that every time they'll show the same support. Even during these days, the High Commission and other had been very helpful for us.
We are very thankful to our government also, High Commission Dhaka, and as well as our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who arranged such a special flight for we stranded students, and we are very thankful to them. Thank you so much.
सबसे पहले मैं शुक्र करना चाहूँगा मिनिस्टर ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स का, और जो एम्बेसी है हमारी, उनका शुक्रगुजार है जो हमको इस मुसीबत में भी इवैक्यूएट कर रहे हैं, एंड आई हाईली अप्रिशिएट द एफर्ट दैट दे हैव मेड टू इवैक्यूएट अस एज सून एज पॉसिबल.
Now, the Indian Navy's warship has also started evacuation of Indian nationals stranded abroad, mostly in Maldives. INS Jalashwa is bringing back around 732 stranded Indians. The boarding is underway and the naval ship will return back to Kochi as part of the Operation Samudra Setu. Another Navy ship, INS Magar, which has also reached Maldives which will eventually reach on the 10th of May. It has taken off. It will reach on the 10th. It will evacuate stranded Indians being brought back. 2 ships will be evacuating at least 1,000 people from Maldives in the first trip, and then the evacuated members will disembark in Kochi. Cutting across to visuals from Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua district, where migrant labourers were seen resorting to vandalism over non-payment of their dues. This happened at the Chenab textile mill in Kathua. Here we're looking at migrant crisis brewing across the country, and now in Jammu and Kashmir as well, where migrants have resorted to vandalism. They've got down to violence because they claim that they've not been paid their dues. Lakhs of migrants across the country currently stranded due to the lockdown, unable to move around. More importantly, their basic day-to-day livelihood has taken a big hit. Their next meal is a big question when employers aren't paying their dues. Several of them complain that their daily wages have not been paid. They don't have ration, they don't have basic essentials, no food to eat. Similar situation we're looking at Jammu and Kashmir as well, where the situation's gone out of hand. Labourers, migrants, now resorting to vandalism over non-payment of their dues. This happened at the Chenab textile mill in Kathua. Sunil Ji Bhatt joining us live from Jammu. Mr. Bhatt, please go on. We're looking at vandalism in Jammu and Kashmir. Migrants saying that they've not been paid their dues. How long has this been that they've asked for what's due to them?
Well, Nabila, earlier this morning, the migrant laborers, particularly from the states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, who are working in Kathua district in Chenab textile mill, they staged angry protests outside the mill. They were alleging that the management hasn't paid them their full salary, and then they resorted to vandalism. As you can see in these pictures, which have been exclusively accessed by India Today, you can see that the migrant laborers, while staging protests, they targeted the vehicles which were were parked outside the Chenab textile mill, and then the administration swung into action. The senior superintendent of police in Kathua district, Shailendra Mishra, himself went to the spot and he tried to pacify the laborers. Since he also belongs to the Purvanchal region, so he spoke to them in Bhojpuri in order to reach out to them, and his efforts yielded results, and the laborers later on dispersed and went to their quarters. But there is one important fact that gets highlighted here, is that the patience of these migrant laborers is now running out. They are not being paid their full dues by the management of the factories. Now the SSP in the Kathua district has assured them that he is going to talk to the management of the Chenab textile mill and all their grievances will be addressed. And he also assured them that as per the guidelines of the Ministry of Home Affairs, they will be evacuated and they will be sent back to their villages. Nabila.
Right. Sunil, thank you very much. Let's hope the situation is contained soon enough, because there's a worry that more than anything else, the coronavirus outbreak shouldn't happen in these areas, which might just be green zones. This kind of situation can only aggravate this current pandemic crisis. Migrant workers demanding their right. Cutting across to migrant workers in Mumbai head home as the first train from Mumbai leaves to UP today. Around 1,400 laborers and their families have already left for Mumbai to their native in 21 buses. Here's a big relief to thousands of migrant laborers who are waiting to head back home. Migrant workers in Mumbai now head home as the first train from Mumbai leaves to UP today. Around 1,400 members and their families have already left Mumbai now for their native in 21 buses. And these are visuals coming in of those migrants boarding buses, the train also that will take off today to their native homes.
We are in Mumbai's Jogeshwari area. From here, 1,400 migrant workers now being taken to LTT, which is a terminus from where they'll be taking a train for Uttar Pradesh. You will see this is the Meghwari area where these workers were staying in during the lockdown. They didn't have any work. Administration had made arrangements for them in schools where food was being provided. Now, as the policy came out for migrant workers, they did their medical checkups, and now you can see the Mumbai police is taking down names of people who have registered. Those names are being called out, and those people are now being put in this BEST bus from where they'll be going to the LTT Lokmanya Tilak terminus area in Chembur. From there, they'll take train back. It has been a long journey for these people to wait for an opportunity to go back home, as there was not much work to do in Mumbai, and finally they have got it. With camera person Sai Prasad Patel, Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai for India Today.
अभी क्या काम करते थे मुंबई में?
सर हम सिलाई करते थे।
हाँ
जी सिलाई करते थे, और अभी काम वाम है नहीं, हम लोग को खाने के मंदे हैं, इसके लिए हम लोग जा रहे हैं।
Now, cutting across to Maharashtra, which is the worst affected state of COVID-19 across the country. Close to 18,000 positive cases have been reported on the whole. Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope in a briefing has said that in the last 24 hours, the state reported 1,362 new COVID cases and 43 deaths. The total number of cases in the state police department has now gone up to 531. The state's capital, Mumbai, continues to remain worse affected with over 10,000 COVID cases. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray held a virtual all-party meeting over the situation across the state just yesterday. Meanwhile, 77 inmates, 26 jail officials have tested positive for COVID-19 in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail. All those infected have been shifted to GT Hospital in St. George.
हम तो सरकार के साथ खड़े हैं, सरकार को पूरी मदद कर रहे हैं, लेकिन सरकार को सूचना देना ये कंस्ट्रक्टिव अपोजिशन का काम है, और कई गलतियां होती है तो गलतियां सरकार के नजर में लाकर देना वो हम कर रहे हैं।
Now, consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai spoke with Ashok Chavan, PWD Minister of Maharashtra, to know if there is really a possibility of paramilitary forces being called in into the state of Maharashtra to control the rise of COVID-19 cases. Here's what he said.
Mumbai, for the last few days, again the number of cases are steadily rising. That's the fear. As I said, at present rates, the fear is of a doubling rate of 10 days Mumbai could be 29,000 cases by the end of the month. And then Mumbai will face possibly a major struggle to have required number of hospital beds to tackle coronavirus. There are already reports today, I can tell you, that are swimming around, rumors being spread about how Mumbai could have paramilitary forces being put in place by the weekend. Do you want to dismiss all of that?
No, I am not dismissing anything what you are saying. I am just speaking the plain truth before you. The situation definitely in areas which are thickly populated, the areas where hutments are there, crowded places, these issues are definitely the hotspots in Mumbai, which have...
Is there any plan, sir, sorry to intervene, to put paramilitary like has been done in Ahmedabad? Is there plans to enforce a much stricter lockdown in Mumbai starting this weekend?
At the moment, at least, there is no such plan to get in the paramilitary forces. The Mumbai police and the SRPF, the Home Guards, all the possible state machinery is put to use. And as you say that, well, there is a possibility of cases rising in the next few days. I don't deny that. We had a presentation yesterday of the entire cabinet where it was shown that the cases are bound to rise in the next few days. But there's nothing to panic about it. We'll have to, you see the number of 8 to 10,000 tests are being conducted on a daily basis. Yes. Now, that is definitely not enough. Asymptomatic cases are there where it is difficult to identify whether a person is positive or not.
Yes.
These issues are popping up. But you will realize that the total number of samples which was sent to the laboratories were around 1,90,879, and the negative cases were around 1,70,838. So the positive cases reported is 16,758. So going by the statistics, and their deaths so far have been 651, as you have pointed out. So the question is that efforts are being stepped up. The services of the private doctors also are being taken into help. Their help is being taken, and on the war footing things are being done. But I would not like to compare myself with the United States of America, where we are definitely less. But compared to Maharashtra, compared to India, our cases are definitely more. But frankly speaking, it is a case where we are all definitely. There's a feeling that we have whatever best has to be done. We'll have to step up our efforts and see that the number is contained.
Now let's come back to the national capital, Delhi. The number of COVID-19 positive cases is seeing a surge. Delhi recorded a single highest day spike. A spike in the single day, which is the highest that has been recorded. 448 new cases in just the last 24 hours reported, taking the total number of cases in the capital now to over 5,900. Delhi is the third worst hit state in the country after Maharashtra and Gujarat. Meanwhile, 389 number of cured cases were also reported in the last 24 hours. 4 areas have been removed from the list of COVID-19 containment zones in Delhi on Thursday. With this, the total number of containment zones in the national capital now stands at 83. Since the COVID-19 outbreak, a total number of 77,223 tests have been conducted on the whole in the national capital. Now, Tamil Nadu continues to reel under the coronavirus pandemic. The state COVID-19 tally is now touching the 5,000 mark after 580 new cases were reported in just the last 24 hours. 2 fresh deaths were also reported in Tamil Nadu in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to 37. The surge in cases have been linked to Chennai's largest wholesale market in Coimbatore. So far, over 1,300 cases in the state have been linked to the market alone, the Coimbatore market. Increased testing rate has also been a factor in rising cases. On Thursday, over 14,000 tests were conducted in the state, while capital Chennai is the worst affected in the state with 2,644 coronavirus cases, of which 316 were reported in just the last 24 hours. Let's go over to Akshata Nandagopal, who tells us which states saw a spike in COVID-19 cases in the last month of May. Take a look.
The numbers so far in the last many days from different states has been very, very worrying because we've seen a steady spike in the number of coronavirus cases. The month of May itself, a number of states have fared very badly in the fight against coronavirus. And we break down for you the stats in the last 1 week. These are the numbers that we've gathered from 1st May to the 6th of May. And there are several states which have seen a huge spike in the number of cases. Take, for example, Punjab, which has registered 75% of the COVID cases that it has in the month of May. So in the last 1 month alone, 75% of the cases, that's exactly 1,094 cases. Besides that, even the state of Haryana as well as Tamil Nadu has seen a clear spike in the number of cases. Tamil Nadu has, of course, 5 clusters in the city of Chennai, which has caused a huge issue. The government also saying that it's because of extensive testing that suddenly the numbers have gone up, that 43% of the cases in the state have been reported in the last 1 week. In West Bengal too, again from the city of Kolkata, a number of cases that have come to light. So 41% of the coronavirus cases in Bengal have been reported from May 1st to May 6th. Similarly, in Maharashtra, 5,027 cases, 32% of the cases in Maharashtra have been reported in the first week of May. So those are the figures there. What's very, very worrying is the situation in Punjab and the situation in Tamil Nadu as well as Haryana, where they are saying that there has been a spike in the number of cases in the last 1 week, and they're attributing this also to the fact that there's a lot more aggressive, extensive testing that's happening.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.